Hi there, I'm John from CNCKing.com, and today we make some frosty polycarbonate parts. For most applications in the shop, we use polycarbonate. The reason we're using it is because it's optically clear. So this is what polycarbonate looks like. You can totally see through it. It's a wonderful material, very strong and durable. Now the bad thing about this is they can totally see through it. And in this specific application, the customer needed it to be frosty, like this. Let me just show you side by side. So if you want something frosty, how do you actually do that? Well, the first part of doing this kind of project is actually laser cutting it out. So let's do that first. So after laser cutting polycarbonate, this is what it looks like. The exact opposite of optically clear. It's definitely not a beautiful color. There's nothing redeemable about this. Now the nice thing about this is all of this stuff here is actually on the masking. Let me just show it to you. One thing you learn about this job is you use your fingernails a lot, and that's to remove masking. So this is masking. It just comes off. Now there's a couple of little parts on it that's re-welded during the laser cutting process, but it's not a big deal, it comes right off. And as you can see, it goes basically from this ugliness to this totally optically clear. Now there's a couple little bits here that are stuck in, that's why you see a little bit darker, but now I end up with something like this. Now again, for this application here, we definitely cannot use this color, and we cannot use this. So what we use is the machine behind me here, which is an industrial sandblaster. So what the sandblaster does is that it uses, in this case, glass, shards of glass, but we can also use sand, as the name implies. And what it does is with compressed air, it shoots it out onto something. So it's a very abrasive process. Then what it does is it turns the clear polycarbonate into frosty polycarbonate. Side by side, so you can see the difference. Now for this application here, just to be safe, we sandblasted both sides. And the reason for that is just in case there's a little piece that is optically clear, the other side will take care of that pretty quickly. Now, sandblasting this is a relatively straightforward process. All we do is go over it like this, go over it like this, and then a few different angles just to make sure that every part of this is actually taken care of. Now, the nice thing about the sandblaster for this kind of process is that we also have, of course, the laser that cut it out, but the laser can also be used to make a mask for this process. So let's say this was a solid piece of polycarbonate and you wanted your branding or your logo on here. We can do that two ways. We can color change it using the fiber laser in our machine, or we can actually use a sandblaster to make a frosted effect. So you might be wondering, how does the sandblasting or the laser cutting affect the polycarbonate strength-wise? I haven't noticed any difference. Of course, this is full of holes, so of course it's going to be a little bit less strong than something that would be solid. But the heat itself, the way we cut it out, as you saw in the video, is we spread it out, so there's no warping on this process here. And the sandblasting is only on the surface. We're not actually digging into the polycarbonate at any specific depth. So it's just more of a scratching process than an actual digging process. And actually we use this mostly to clean metal parts of all things. So if we're looking for custom polycarbonate parts, clear, frosted, and branded, as however you want, contact me at CNCKing.com. We'll make it for you and ship it right to your door.